This car is actually 3 hours drive away from where I live, so to be able to spend a lot more time on these rust repair patches, I took a mould of body filler, and it's worked out. It let me work at home without driving out to the workshop where the car is. It fits. I'd do it again. Bit of a drawback to this method, it actually cost me $30 in body filler to get this to take this mold. If you're going to do this, use more timber, less body filler. Call it a guillotine or a die to press out the shape of my back window rust, and it's, well, the second time I made it, and you can kind of get some levering effect here, and you can sharpen up these curves nicely. It's not how I ended up making it, but I ended up sharpening up those corners for me. I didn't get enough pressure on it, I ended up just pounding it with a hammer on here. It did the job. This is a negative and a positive hardwood mould that I shaped based on the Bondo body filler moulding that I took off the car when I was in the workshop. I have copied all the shape of the rust repair patch needed, except that the table is flat and the back window is going to have a slight bow in it. This shape I integrated into my repair patch whilst actually clamping it to the windscreen frame itself. This would be much harder if you had less steel on your car than I did. I was able to produce a repair patch for both corners of this timber mould just by flipping the mould upside down. It became mirrored, and so I could create a piece for opposite corners. I'm using flat 20 gauge sheet metal, and as you can see, with clamping, hammering and heat from a gas torch, I am shrinking it on the inside and stretching it on the outside. I had hoped to shape it by pressing with the bolts. The timber wasn't quite strong enough. If you're going to do this, I would suggest finding the hardest timber you can. This was floorboards once. A bit of clamping and tapping saw these repair patches fit the car pretty well, as you can see at the start of the video. I was pleasantly surprised to see it's very close to what I need. If anything's wrong with it, you'll see there's a fold top left in this picture, and of course the outer corner isn't quite as sharp as the factory one. I can live with that. If you're scratching your head and wondering why I'm doing this, it's because my project is in Australia, and the other option is buying a whole quarter panel and having it shipped across the world. The truth is, I don't want to cut off my quarter panels. They have a very small amount of rust in the bottom, not much of it, and rust around the back window, and I'd rather patch it and keep my factory quarter panels. I don't know how well it's going to come out. Your feedback and advice is welcome. If you try and do this, I'd like to have a look at what you're doing. Please leave your comments, feedbacks, criticisms or advice.